What's going on there, guys? Missy Mimi's here, jumping in. It is 8:36 a.m., June 4th, 2021, West Coast time. Got a pair of 5.9s that struck this morning off the coast of Oregon or California, kind of like literally almost at the border here between the two. Two 5.9s. Let's see. And then only a handful of aftershocks, but other than that, bear with me. The USGS map is like is is spotty this morning. It's kind of been spotty. I don't know what's going on with it, but uh, I have to sometimes switch it up between either the 2.5 plus magnitudes and then these show up, or out of nowhere they'll disappear and I'll have to switch it to the all magnitudes. So it's spotty. So if it disappears, that's why we'll have to just adjust as we go or refresh. Um, or it just shuts down all the way altogether. So just bear with me. This is going to be a short update. Just got to cover this. So let's see here. There were, they did do a little tsunami statement thing, but I believe it was, there was no issue with that. So we will check that though. Let's see. So the 5.9 did occur off the coast of Gold Beach, Oregon. 16.6 kilometers, the first one. Only 15 reports were felt on this magnitude quake. So it was apparently reported as a light to moderate shaking. So it wasn't anything severe. Let's see here. There was no tsunami threat with this advisory for these quakes. Yeah, see, one was downgraded. Well, let's see. Were they upgraded or downgraded? Yeah, one was a 5.8 originally, and it was upgraded to a 5.9. So, excuse me, I'm going to lose my voice. It is early, you guys. It is early, but that's okay. Happy to hop in. Okay, so yeah, that one was 16.6 kilometers, and then there was a small 3.9 aftershock, and then it was followed, and this one occurred at 12:52 a.m. And then the second one occurred at 1:17 a.m. So not long after, and probably looks to be about maybe 20 minutes in difference. And that one was 14.5 kilometers, and again, that one was also had no tsunami threat on it. Alrighty, so but yeah, and then there were two other aftershocks that followed that, a 4.2 and a 3.2. Other than that, like nothing else occurred here. So that just proof, you guys, that there is still a lot of pressure building within this area. These did occur on strike slip fault within the Blanco transfer fault zone here. So just in between the fracture zone and the subduction zone. So, and they weren't super. Oh, see, there they go. They weren't super deep, but nonetheless, it just goes to show that there is still a lot of pressure buildup here. Let's see. Let me see if I can't bring those back. See, got to swap back and forth. Oh, goodness. Anyways, but yes, so a lot going on off the coast of Oregon. Yeah, so literally like right at the border here of Oregon and California. And then there was a little 2.8 that occurred yesterday. 21.5 kilometers deep, Willow Creek, California. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. We got going here. 4.2 in Alaska at 8:20, or Alaska, excuse me, Nebraska. I seen that, and I seen the Anoka, Nebraska, and kind of just put it together. It's early. We'll just blame it being early. Um, and that one was shallow, so let's see here. Yeah, so a 4.2 hit in Nebraska, and then 2.5 in Texas, 3.1 in Idaho. I'm going to see in a second if I can turn on the all magnitudes if I do that, and if everything's going to disappear. So for now, we're just going to kind of check around here and see what's going on. Still some aftershock activity following that earthquake up in Alaska. Let's see here. 3.7. Still some very deep movement going on the Aleutian Islands. 137 kilometers below the surface there. And also here, 131.6 kilometers. That is just, there's a lot of deep movement going on along the northern part of the Pacific Plate, which I believe plays a major part in a lot of this buildup, because Japan still hasn't moved. It's been very, very quiet. Really, if you break it down, the amount over the past 30 days that we've been seeing, or longer, really, if you, let me see if it'll work. 30 days, all magnitudes. Okay, here we go. All of the movement going on along here, like even with its, the largest quakes happening, it's still not enough. It's still not enough relief for the West Coast and for these areas here. There was an article, I believe the Earthmaster has brought that up, that there was an article saying the 2011 earthquake 9.2 that struck out here in the Japan region helped to relieve the West Coast from possibly the big one. But it just goes to show that it plays a part in pressure relief between the two. It's like a balance. It's a balancing act here. So when they're not seeing activity, the West Coast is seeing activity, and then once they start seeing major, large activity, like a good push of relief here, then the West Coast calms. So it's a balancing game here. So until this region gets that release that it needs, the relief, the West Coast will continue to be on target. So I'm still very sure that there's going to be at some point a very large earthquake occurring out here. Probably above a 7, like within the 7.5 and above range, which would be the release needed to finish off that balancing act here. But unfortunately for Japan, that has not happened yet. And if you are a viewer from Japan, it's definitely something to be prepared for, just for the simple fact that, I mean, it can happen anytime. There's no way to predict it. It's just a matter of watch and wait and be prepared, and so on and so forth. Let's see if this is gonna work for me. See, there's the 2.5. There was just a quake right now, 5.0 here in Indonesia. Let's see what's going on here. Got swarm going on here. Yeah, so we have a swarm going, a moderate swarm going here outside of Indonesia. 4.6 was the first, and then a 5.2. Let's check these the depth here. Yeah, so not super deep movement, but deep enough outside of Ternate, Indonesia. So just indicating that there's still pressure building here as well. Kind of comes off this direction and then down here. So, and then off this way. So, as you can see, even with the 2.5 magnitudes on, it's just not a lot going on. 4.3 occurred yesterday. Extremely deep movement out here near the Fiji Islands. 536.6 kilometers deep. This area is no stranger to deep movement, but as you can tell, still not a lot going on. Also over here within the Kermadec Island, and see, as soon as it updates, there it goes. They disappear. And the New Zealand area, there was some movement a few days ago, I believe, here near the Christchurch area, but then after that, nothing. So, still keeping an eye on that region as well. Are you gonna work? See, I put that on, and now all these other ones disappeared. Let me see if we can't refresh this, and is it gonna do what I want? Yeah, see, it's all over the place, you guys. Alright, other than that, that was yesterday, 4.6 outside of Greece. South America, you are still seeing some super deep, there has been some pretty deep movement still out here within the region. Still keeping an eye on that. To your north, Venezuela had a 5.1, 10 kilometers below the surface. Is pretty shallow, but let's see here. Nicaragua had a 4.3. This is all yesterday. These are going to drop off the map pretty soon. These quakes here. Still some little swarms going on out here in Puerto Rico, but nothing major of note. Some threes, mid-range threes. Can't tell. Nope. Is that gonna do what I want? I don't think. Let's see. Yes, just twos. So not a whole lot. Not a whole lot going on, but let's see here. Otherwise, yes, West Coast still on target. Still got some movement going out here. Woo! Still got some movement out here in the Southern California, on the San Jacinto Fault Zone, and a little off, and on the Elsinore Fault, and in between all this movement. And then yesterday there was a lot of microquake activity going on. So we are definitely keeping an eye on these areas. Ridgecrest, still seeing some movement here. Kind of localized literally into Ridgecrest, just above the Garlock Fault Zone. So that area is pretty capable of a large quake. So let's see. I didn't expect to do like a long update, but still have to keep an eye on these areas. Still some movement out here in Nevada. Nothing large of note. Let's see here. Yosemite Valley seeing a microquake here, and then a little microquake up to the north on the border, above the border here of California and Nevada, near Mono Lake. Other than that, let's see, what's this? 1.3. Lake Tahoe has gone completely quiet for the most part. Just a little microquake here. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on there. But we are still watching this area for other movement. If any new swarms take place, I will jump in and cover that. Chester seeing a little microquake. Pretty shallow. And then geysers still having some swarming here. They do have some, from what I believe, some geothermal stuff up here. So I mean, it plays a part, punching holes into the ground. Just gonna open up some pockets there, especially with Clear Lake having a volcano on it. But otherwise, not a whole lot going on, other than this big movement right here, out here in the Cascadia. Little microquake up here in Washington. Seattle quieted down a little bit, but that's last night's tremor shows that there was a large amount of tremor below the surface here, just near Vancouver Island. 179 epicenters compared to, so that's gone up quite a bit compared to 50 within that area the day before. Let's see here. And then 17 prior to that. And then 14. So definitely seen an increase, and it's moving more north. I'll be done in a second. Go on. Okay, I'm almost done. Go sit down and I'll be right there. Alrighty, so I gotta cut this short. My 4-year-old's getting bored. Okay, so, but yeah, so definitely increase in epicenters, and it's moved more north near Vancouver Island. So definitely be keeping an eye on this for sure. Other than that, you guys, there's not a whole lot else going on. If anything else major happens, I will be back on here for sure to check that out and check anything out and report. Hawaii still seeing their movement. It looks like some increased movement down here. Let's see. Yeah, in the Loihi seamount area, a lot of underground or like underwater volcanoes in this region right here. So that could indicate some, looks like, let's see, it's not deep in there, but it still could indicate a little bit of magma movement. And then of course a lot more going on still within this southern region of Pahala. So, and then let's see here, some microquakes still around the Kilauea area, and then just a little quake, a microquake over here in this little oddball spot. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. Other than what's going on in the Cascadia. So I will be back later if anything else big happens, and so on and so forth. So stay safe out there. Have a good day, and I'll chat with you guys a little later. Peace out.